Friends. Friends. I think I just might have saw the worst horror film of 2023, and I've seen a lot of horror films that are contenders for worst horror film of 2023, or of life. Just hands down the worst video game adaptation ever made. Five Nights at Freddy's. This movie was the deepest level of disappointing and bad and cliche and lame that I can't even express. I haven't played a lot of the games. I played the game a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It has a very, unique style, scare, fears to it. I know there's a lore to it. And I know that this film had a contested creation. It went through 3 scripts, scrapped them, different directors, and it fucking shows. I don't know how they ended up at this level. I don't get it. The movie, first and foremost, played itself as a trauma story about the main character whose brother got kidnapped in front of him, and he needs to figure out why. So he just sleeps all the time because he dreams about the situation. And then he's taking care of his little sister, who he might lose, I mean, all in all, it's not terrible to have a backstory to a movie or to have, that ground and that core, human element to this movie. The problem being is it just took over the entirety of the film. It made the film slow and boring, totally inconsistent. What I'm trying to mean by that, too, is, it didn't know what type of film it wanted it to be. It could have been a drama. It could have been this horror movie. And horror is a very, very, very loose term for this film. You want to know why? Because there wasn't a single scary element to it whatsoever. This was not helped by the fact that it was PG-13, but I've seen PG-13 horror movies that could be scary, okay? I've seen PG-13 horror movies that can be scary. This movie just did not understand how to maintain suspense, create scares, and the problem being is that it tried to mix in this humor in the process, which wasn't funny. And so, you've got this serious drama with this horror comedy-ish. Occasionally it goes into this realm of horror that could be actually pretty scary, people getting sucked into the animatronics, or kids getting fucking murdered. I don't know, things like that. But it was so diluted, and I feel so contrived, and lacked such a conviction and a real vision. And I think it's probably the creator's fault. Apparently, he's the one who's been, super hands-on, trying to do this. And you know what? Maybe leave it in the hands of somebody who understands the story. Because it's just so cliche. It hit all the cliche marks. All the reveals were cliche. My dog's hearing me rant, and he wants me to play with him. And that's just really deeply unfortunate, because, it is something that can be terrifying. Animatronics are, by default, scary. I keep saying that the Banana Splits movie is incredible. Incredible. It hits horror, comedy. It made me laugh. It was brutal. You don't need brutality. But let me tell you, here's the thing. If you're going to use animatronics, they better kill things. And they better do it uniquely. This movie just, was bloodless, literally. Okay, there was, 2 drops the entire movie. Here's the thing. I understand that this movie doesn't appeal to kids. I understand that, I was at one of my older friends, her nephew, who's 7 or 8, has had a birthday party, and it was Five Nights at Freddy's themed. I get that this movie may have been trying to not scare people too badly, but here's the thing. 6 and 7 and 8-year-olds aren't going to understand shit about being kidnapped and that trauma and that sort of stuff either, and that sort of plot line, so it didn't know what audience it was going for. It's really deeply frustrating when this sort of thing happens, because I know it's going to make the most money of a horror film this year, and it's going to spawn sequels, and ugh. Oh my god. Well, thank god it's getting critically panned. I love that. That makes me happy. This makes my little heart happy and sore that it's doing deeply poorly with critics. So it's going to make money. But I think, it's just a perfect example of too many cooks in the kitchen. Perfect example of not understanding where to draw a line, and then not understanding where no lines need to be drawn. By that I mean you don't have to walk on eggshells when it comes to some scary stuff, or you don't have to be afraid to make a movie that's just entertaining. Not every fucking movie coming out needs to be about somebody's horrible past. It doesn't. I'm sorry, I do enjoy that sort of thing, but this is the last film that should have done it. The last film. The game itself is dumb as shit. The game is stupid. The game is effective, though, and the game is scary, and that's what we came for. You didn't come for the plot, and you know what? a plot can be great. Apparently the movie had an original script, which was like kind of a Stranger Things kind of buddy dealio where the kids went in together, and that would have been cool. We would have been able to have more of an element, I feel like. The problem being is this movie took itself so fucking seriously, yet not seriously at all. There was a, I don't care if anyone hears this part. They just, the main characters just play with the animatronics. They all have this buddy time. They make forts together. Everybody, all the main characters. So instantly, I'm not afraid of them. Why? Because the main characters aren't. What a fucking mess. What a terrible, terrible, terrible film. I wanted to see the director's first film, The Wind, and now I want to see it Never. Which apparently was actually pretty good. But there's a situation where directors who make good indie films don't make bigger films. Like one of my favorite directors, Nicolas Pesce, unfortunately completely just butchered the Grudge reboot. Now there wasn't studio interference, but I'll be honest, like, some people, I think, just don't know how to tackle a large project on their hands. And I do think that Emma Tammy, who directed this film, also inherited a pile of shit, you know, so she was credited for part of the screenplay, and she might have been the only saving grace in there. There was some funny lines. The daughter was pretty hilarious. Like, she said some funny stuff, and I think that was entertaining, but, like, a few quick quirks does not make a film at all. I can't believe I did this. At least it was free. No, I'm very grateful. There was a horror group here that I won the tickets from, and I'm very grateful to have gone. I know if they were to hear this, they would probably not be happy that I disliked it so deeply. Well, just disliked is a very light word. I think it fucking sucked. That's just reality, though. Like, some people are gonna like it or not. I think younger audiences may enjoy it too, but I don't know. It is an odd year for horror. It is a very odd year for horror. Nobody would expect that Saw 10 would be critically acclaimed, so I guess I kind of thought it'd be the opposite, where this one would be acclaimed. But hey, you know what? It is what it is. My dog is, like, just losing his shit, so what he does is he eats, and he gets really overwhelmed afterwards, and so he just attacks his toy. I mean, I also do that when I eat. I'm not as aggressive to Tapestry as he is, but maybe I will. Maybe I'll start, like, scratching at furniture with knives after I... It's basically equivalent to what this little guy's doing. Hey, Denver. Hey, yeah, look at you. That's you. Yeah, say hello to everybody. Yeah. Hi. That's my dog.